Good morning. It's 1st of July, just after 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just leaving the car park at Patterdale Hotel. Intention is to climb 9 different ones today, all going up to Sunday Crag, towards Grisdale Tarn, up to Nethermost Pike, Dollywaggon Pike, and then come back down the other side, down Hart Fell. So 9. It's going to be a good day, hopefully. It's quite a straightforward footpath really. Leaving the car park, follow it round all the way to the top, I would imagine, of Arnison Crag, which will be the first one of the day. A great view. Patterdale, Glenridding, Hullswater. Fabulous. This is the top of Arnison Crag. It comes upon you quite quickly actually. It's a bit of a scramble, quite a nice view. I think that's the edge of Helvellyn peeking out there. We'll pan round. That's Sheffield Pike that we did the other day, coming off of Helvellyn, and that'll be Glenridding Dodd. And we've got the view of Hullswater. There we go, that's Place Fell. That's the day I walked up there. I should have gone to the Nab, if you remember, and I couldn't get there. And that's that'll be Angletown Pike. What a fabulous view. I'm looking back at Arnison Crag along the valley that we're climbing up, and that's where we're heading next, up there. That's Birks. I think we're going to follow the track around and go up the other side of it. That's an up and down, and then we'll carry on to Sunday Crag, which you can see in the distance. You need to be careful going around the underside of Birks. Their path is indistinct in places, so it needs a little bit of careful navigation. I just missed it and I have to get back on it, so concentration required. Well, this is Stanley. It's at the top of Birks. Well, stood at the top of Birks, should I say. A bit warm one today. Look, there's been lots of streams, some fabulous views. Now, last week, the week before, I walked up that track there in the rain and the mist, if you remember. And that's Catsy Cam in the background. And you can just see Swirl Edge just above the this edge here, which is Striding Edge, and Helvellyn in the background. And panning round here, that's St Sunday Crag that we're going over next, and then we're going to scoot round. I think I can just make out Dollywaggon Pike in the background as well. So I'm just not far now off the top of St Sunday Crag, and I've just had the first view of Hart Crag over there. That's on the side of the valley, and that's what I intend to go over this afternoon on my way back down to Patterdale. So that's this afternoon. I'm suspecting the dip down there's Grisdale Tarn. Anyway, we're heading up here. Where's Stanley gone? Here's Stanley. He's having a lovely day. He'll be 10-month-old in 3 days' time. He's been off the lead all day today. He's still showing some interest in sheep, but at the minute he's doing as he's told, and he's staying to my heel when sheep are about. So all's looking good for the Munros. To the top, St Sunday Crag. See my first other person of the day. Not bad, climbed 3, only seen one person. Wow, Helvellyn in all its glory. Striding edge. Nethermost Pike and Dollywaggon Pike, they're coming up. Come on Stanley, say hello to the camera. It's a better view of the tarn, Grisdale Tarn. So the plan is to walk over Dollywaggon Pike, continue on to Nethermost Pike, retrace our steps all the way back to the tarn, and then we've got to get over Hart Crag. Now I suspect by the time I get to Hart Crag all the hard work will be done, because then it's effectively, although there's a couple more to do, but we're heading back down the valley. I'm following this quite steep path down off the Col. It's not actually shown on the OS map, but you can see it's just very, very distinctive, and it wraps around the valley. I've just got a viewpoint a bit higher up and I can see it wrapping round the valley to the tarn, but it's not actually shown on the map, but it's quite a distinct path, so I've chosen to take this one, and you meet up with it at the Col, so you can't miss it. This is the stepping stones at Grisdale Tarn. Stan's been for a swim, cool off. Dollywaggon Pike next. Just going up the steps, erosion control, Dollywaggon Pike. Lots of people about, as I expected. Very steep. Very steep. This post here marks the right turn up to Dollywaggon Pike to the top, and then we continue that way to Nethermost Pike. Stan's having a wonderful time today. This is Dollywaggon Pike.
Yep.
And see where we've come from. Sunday Crag.
Okay, enjoy the rest of the day. Yep, you too. See you later.
And that's where we're going this afternoon. What a fabulous view. So this is the top of Nethermost Pike. First time up here for me. I'm looking forward to the view. I suspect it could be the best view of the day. Just see the top edge of Striding Edge over there. That's Sunday Crag, we were up earlier. That's Dollywaggon Pike. What a great view. So I'm back at this post, having done Dollywaggon and Nethermost, and I'm looking across, and that's Sandal. That's the hill I'm doing next. And if you look across there, there's a wall going up and there's a footpath following it. And at this post, bizarrely enough, there's a footpath going down, not shown on the map, but I've decided to take this footpath rather than retracing the steps that way back down to Grisdale Tarn and round and up. So hopefully I'll save a little bit of time by following this path. I'm just coming down the side of Dollywaggon on the path that I spotted earlier, and there's a view of Grisdale Tarn, but I do need to show you how steep this path is. That is very, very, very steep. Luckily I don't have Mia with me today, because I had a struggle to get down there holding a husky. Well, here we are at the top of Sandal. It's warm today. You can just get a view there of Grasmere. To remember, the coast to coast starts the stage from Grasmere over to Patterdale. Quite a short day from what I remember. Some fabulous views today. That's Grisdale Tarn. I'm just coming off of Sandal. You can see Dollywaggon Pike and the zigzag path that I went up earlier. And that's where we're going next. That's Hart Crag. That's Sunday Crag over there, where we were this morning. and you can see Ullswater in the distance. What a fabulous day. Wow, that was tough, really tough. I'm at the top of Fairfield. You look around, the 2 or 3 piles of stone. It's difficult to decide which one's the top. I'm going to head for the cairn in the middle. That was a long drag from the tarn. I went down to the tarn to let Stan have a drink, and it's just been one hell of a slog. It's very, very warm, and I think I suffered more up there than I have for some time. I'll just pan round just to show you where we're going. So we're Hartside next, so we'll follow this path round onto Hartside, and then we'll follow the tops down back to Patterdale. We're just dropping off of Fairfield. Nice path. It loops round and then it climbs ever so slightly up to Hart Crag. Hart Crag is the 8th of the day. Then after Hart Crag we drop down to Hartsop above How, which will be the last one of the day. But I'm hoping the last one's going to be a tad easier than the others because I'm dropping down to it, but we'll see. Okay, this is the top of Hartside. Pan round. Fairfield. You can see Helvellyn in the background. And panning down. That's where we're heading home. I'm going to crest the ridge line and drop down the hill. Been a tough day today. I'm just dropping off Hart Crag down to Hartsop above How, and as you can see there's a path running along the ridge top to Hartsop above How, and then from there we'll drop down to the road just outside Patterdale. So mainly downhill to the end. It's been quite a scramble coming down Hart Crag. I've just looked back and I've not realised how steep it was. So I actually came down the middle of that. You can maybe just about make up some other people behind me trying to come down it. Quite difficult. But now we're on the flatter section, and I can see Hartsop above How over there, so all's good. So getting to the top of Hartsop above How. Doesn't seem to be much up here in terms of cairns. This looks to be the high point. Relaxing cairns, it makes up for in views. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Hi, Thursday the 1st of July. What a route, Route 15, brutal. Parked at Patterdale, and everything seemed straightforward enough. Immediately got into climbing, and the gradient was relatively steep, so you made your height rather quickly. But you know, everything was straightforward until I was underneath Birks, and you're following the various tracks, which are pretty much indistinct, and the path I was on just disappeared into nothing, and I realised that the path I should have been on was probably 50 metres higher up the fell, so I had a bit of trudging to do. So it does need a little bit of careful nav, so I've no idea where I missed the path. There's a couple of paths today actually that weren't shown on the map. Fabulous path at the Col after St Sunday Crag, the Col between St Sunday Crag and Fairfield. You can't miss it. It's a definite path going down. It goes down rather steeply, and it loops round to Grisdale Town. Definitely take it, because the one that is shown on the map doesn't seem to exist anyway. when I've looked across. So that was definitely the right path. And equally, under Dollywaggon Pike, there was a post where there's a junction, and you can follow a path down a very steep hill there, which you'll have seen on the video. And again, that was exactly the right thing to do. Today was hot. It was ridiculously hot, and I certainly felt it. It was brutal going up Fairfield, which was the last notable climb of the day. The heat was just relenting. Water was an issue. Definitely I needed to take more water. I took a full bladder, 2 litres, and I only just got around with that. And I took a full litre bottle for Stan, as well as a 600ml flask of coffee. I could probably have done with dumping the coffee, and I'd taken another litre of water. And I did make a mistake. I went back to Grisdale after the second time round, and I a bit of a detour, but I went round to let Stan have a drink, and I should have topped the flask right up then, and I didn't. And a bit later on, he was searching for water, I think because of that, I was a little bit jaded, and so when we got to the top of the last climb, Hartsop above How, I knew it was all downhill to the car, and it actually took about an hour, so it'll probably maybe 2.5, 3 miles. So really, I was going at a reasonable pace, but that hour felt like 2 hours. The best view of the day, I'm torn between two, because when I got to Birks and the weather was so good, and I'm looking across at the view of Helvellyn and Catsycam, and you can see Striding Edge, you could make out Swirl Edge, you could see Nethermost Pike and Dollywaggon Pike, and what we're about to undertake, and that was a fabulous view. But equally, the drop off of Seat Sandal, as you drop down and you're kind of hovering over Grisdale town, that was a lovely view, because the backdrop was obviously Dollywaggon Pike on one side, and you could see Sunday Crag on the other, and Fairfield looming ahead. So they were both very good, torn between them. The day was only 15.5 miles, but it felt much more, but that might have been the fact that there was 5,800 feet of climbing, which is more climbing in one day than I've done so far this year. So that potentially that's why I was feeling it towards the end. I was actually moving for 7.5 hours, and the whole day actually took me 9 hours with sandwiches and map reading, etc. Awesome day, brutal, but well worth doing.